Things are weird. Hi. I hope you can hear and see me. If you are new here, my name is Tenille, and I help people now. I help people diagnosed with lupus or other chronic illness go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. And here we are today with an amazing show. Uh, Today's podcast is going to be epic. There's like no possible way that it won't be. I need everyone to let me know in the comments. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Oh, maybe not. Wait a minute here. Hold on. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I was leaving people out. You should be able to see me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for right now. Goodness, wowza. I was leaving out my Instagram. Okay, hello. If you are here, share. And furthermore, like and comment because we love that here. So for y'all who didn't see, I'm Tenille, help people who've been diagnosed with lupus or other chronic illness go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. Hopefully everyone can see and hear me. I know I'm an unorthodox time of the day to be podcasting live. However, too important today to not tell it all and be here. So let me tell you about my week. Tuesday, no, lies. Thursday? Yes. Thursday doesn't really matter at all. Well, it was Tuesday. It was Valentine's Day. How was your Valentine's? Are you okay? Did you get the gifts you wanted? Did you talk to the people you wanted? Did you have the booze? Hi, guys. Where you streaming in from? Okay, you're seeing and hearing me. Awesome. How was your Valentine's Day? Talk to me. Talk to Big Sis. Like, I need to know. I had a lovely Valentine's Day. It was the same as normal, kind of. Wait, it was Friday. Friday was Valentine's Day. Wow, days of the week, they're hard. Okay, so, but I was busy. Had my master class Tuesday. That was my Valentine's Day present to myself. We really got into it. I really told it how it was, and told it how it is and how it's gonna be. So, hey Jacksonville, hey Harlem, thank you for being here. I love it. Hey Florida. So busy week. Tuesday, then Wednesday went to a vegan event, and I won a contest for the best Valentine's Day outfit. Yes, I did. And I was wearing like a heart cardigan and my heart glasses that are my regular glasses that are prescription glasses. And I don't remember what else, but whatever it was, I won because I'm a winner. I'd be winning in these streets. Then Thursday, I stayed over in the city in Atlanta on Wednesday night, and Thursday morning, I did my first my first lupus advocacy. I know. It's crazy. I was so excited. Okay, so this is the thing. I had been planning to do advocacy when I had reached a certain amount of clients or following that I felt like it would be important enough. Newsflash, it's already important. Every little mickle makes a muckle, my grandma always says. It is amazing. Like, I felt so good doing this advocacy. It's very stuff going on in the government. Sometimes you can feel helpless, like your voice doesn't matter, like there's nothing you can do. And especially when it comes to healthcare has always been an issue because there's people who are extreme about it and people who want to give no help and people want to give all the help. And where do you meet in the middle, and how does it affect you? Because there's a lot of able-bodied people who don't feel any strain from anything medically yet, because a lot of people, you're going to get older, and if you're not taking care of yourself, you don't know. So it was really cool. I got to speak to Congress people, and I wrote a statement, and it was really cool. And I'm making appointments for having one-on-one meetings in office with Congress people, and that's so cool. I just it's so, everyone go do that. Find out if you are a loopy, go to lupus.org, and they have all the information there. They're doing advocacy all the time everywhere. Okay, so get to your local Congress and talk to everybody you can. Be annoying. Be the squeaky wheel. Let them know your name. Last thing, I got these gifts. I got all the gifts. So imagine the girl who walks in wearing already purple, already heart glasses, gets a pair of darker purple heart glasses. Imagine. I was like, did y'all know I was coming? That's so crazy. So I love these glasses. They're so cute. I wish they were prescription because I do have prescription sunglasses also, but I'm still rock them because they're so cute. Okay, and then last thing, I was gifted a cape. A cape. That's why I posted I am Superwoman on my stories because, like, how cool is this? It says I am a lupus hero. I'm a lupus hero, guys. I have a cape. Oh, can you see it? Can you see it? So cool. I'm gonna wear it very inappropriately everywhere. People are gonna be like, wow, that's really weird. I don't care. I'm very excited about my cape. It's so cool. I was gifted by a friend of the show, Angela. She's the best. So now we're going to talk about my week and my thing. Thank you, everybody who came to the masterclass. This one was doing something. I felt the movement in the room. Okay, like this one, I could feel that y'all were feeling it, and I love that for us. Like these are things we always really need to talk about, like way more regularly. Anyhow, this guest of ours, he was on my masterclass, and I just got linked up with him through the last person I had on my podcast, Adam, ex Lupus, and he told me about how this man got him into social media and doing advocacy work, and I was like, what? Because you go hard. And he's like, yeah, but Emmitt, he goes really hard. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. Like as the philosopher and activist says, sometimes you just gotta pop out and show ninjas. And that is exactly what Emmitt does. Emmitt Henderson III, okay, put some respect on his name. He does things that an able-bodied person would be like, nah, I'm good. Like he goes to the extreme in the best ways, and the man needs a kidney, and he's still just out there doing the most in the best possible way. So I need y'all to give my friend, my new male lupus warrior, the warmest welcome. Please welcome to the stage, Emmitt Henderson III.
Thank you for that intro.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you're here. So please tell the audience who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Absolutely. Again, Tenille, thank you so much. So my name is Emmitt Henderson III. I am from sunny San Diego, California. All my career, I've been in management up until my illness took me out of my career. And since 2019, I now advocate not just for lupus, but the things that I've been involved in: kidney disease, kidney donation, men's mental health, period. So it's my passion now that I found out that this is actually my calling because of the way that it's been received from the community, the passion I have for doing it, and the things that I'm doing. I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot in such a little time, but there's so much more to do, Tenille, so much more.
Yes, I completely agree. And so, first of all, could you take us to your diagnosis story? How did you even find out you had lupus, or did you know what lupus was, or how did that go?
Well, we're going to go all the way back to 1995 is when I officially got diagnosed, but the symptoms went on way before that. Even in 95, after 3 months in the hospital, they finally gave me the answer of systemic lupus and kidney disease at the same time. I had no idea what lupus was at all. And remember, I didn't have the internet. I couldn't use, Google to find out what it was at the time. And all I heard was it was rare for a man, it was rare for my age, and rare for my ethnicity. So I'm mixed, Filipino and Black, for you guys that don't know. And when they could not figure out what it was in those 3 months until the very end, it was really confusing and hard for me to deal with, especially the fact that I was told it was majority women that have this disease. You can't imagine how I felt at that time.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm manly.
Wow.
I
I felt accomplished. I felt like I had everything going for me in the world, and I got hit with that. So it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah. So after you got diagnosed, where were you in your life? You said you felt accomplished. What were you doing at that time when you got diagnosed?
At that time, I was a 25-year-old manager of over a crew of 200 people in a service department. In automotive and in trucking industry is what I was in. And I felt really good. I felt I owned my own property, my own car. I was raising my 2 kids on my own. And everything, like I said, I thought was going good until that.
So when you got sent to the hospital, what happened? Like, you were in kidney failure and you had no idea that you were?
No, but see, this is what happened before that, though. Prior to 95, in 1993, I was having major joint pains that every time I went to the hospital to report the joint pain, whether it was in my wrists, shoulders, or knees, I got dismissed every time because x-rays showed nothing wrong. And when they showed nothing wrong, and here I am as a young 25-year-old healthy looking guy talking about my wrist hurt, my shoulder hurt, they were like, yeah, man, just go ahead and let's put some ice on that and you should be okay. It was continuous and it was bad. And so after 3 emergency room visits and telling me the same thing, I didn't go back for 2 years because, it was also an embarrassing factor for me. I'm going in reporting I'm in so much pain and they tell me nothing's wrong. They tell me they see nothing in the x-rays, but that's all they did was x-rays. And so let's forward to 95, where all this time I'm dealing with the pain, sometimes calling off of work because the joints were so bad that in 95, the pain had pretty much moved to my lower back. There is no joint in my lower back. And so when I went in that time, I complained. It was like, you guys, I'm not leaving this time. Something is wrong. Every time I come here, you guys send me home. Now I got pain in my lower back. Well, let's draw blood this time. And that was it.
Let's draw blood after the umpteenth time coming to see you. That's insane. And I'm very proud of you for sticking up for yourself, advocating for yourself, because it goes on like that a lot of the time, that people don't advocate for themselves and they just keep going back to the doctor's office and going back to the doctor's office and complaining about the same thing. And this is an invisible disease.
Oh, man.
There's so many times that you're going to be in major pain and you cannot tell. Someone will just be sitting completely still and be looking normal and melting down body-wise. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too, though, and I know that for most men, we don't really complain about pain too much. If it's that extreme, we try to just handle it on our own. We'll go home and we'll just throw some ice on it. We'll do whatever. We don't want to go to doctors. But the pain that I was feeling was that extreme where, I finally went. And being dismissed just validated why I don't complain about pain, why I don't go to the hospital for minor things at the time that I thought was just minor pains, or it was major pain to me, but a minor reason why I was going into the hospital. And sure enough, they treated it as minor by sending me home.
Right. One of the comments, I'm going to pin it, says your vulnerability is powerful. It really is to be a man talking about this kind of stuff, because for whatever reason, men don't think they're human, so they don't experience, I don't know, pain or disappointment or depression. No, they can't because they're a man. I don't know. But yes.
And and in my place in life, like I said, I was a young manager, and the last thing I thought of was anything slowing me down. I felt like I had to keep going with everything behind me, and with work, I just felt like, you know what? Okay, it's just pain. I can deal with it. That's why I went 2 years. So when that pain shifted, I had to break down and be like, okay, I can't do this. I got to go in and see what's going on. And being vulnerable is something that I realized that I was looked at as being stronger because I was being vulnerable by admitting what I was going through as of opposed to hiding it.
Mm, mm. Yes, drop the mic. I'm telling you, say to every people in the back, your vulnerability is stronger. You're stronger for it. Okay, don't
Yes.
hide. Don't
Yeah.
suffer in silence. Pain is inevitable. Pain happens.
Yeah.
Suffering is a choice that you have made. So
Yes.
he went 2 years. I know people who've gone 5, 10, 15 years in severe pain who didn't want to get help because they didn't want to take time off of work or look weak in front of so and so, especially a man, especially a man.
Right.
So,
Right.
what made it that you had to stop working? You said you were successful, you got
Yeah.
diagnosed, then you had to stop working.
Now, from 1995 to 2019, I've suffered almost every organ failure in my body, and that also include a couple joint replacements, a shoulder replacement, a knee replacement, and then with the organs, yeah, I had heart failure, liver disease, interstitial lung disease, my gallbladder got removed, my spleen was infected, my skin. I mean, I went through so much. And then in 2019, I got diagnosed with a brain disease. And to me, it was my cognitive thinking and my brain and my mental health that pushed me all these years that I was going to get through everything. That
Mm,
everything also included a kidney transplant and also included a bone marrow stem cell transplant, what was a clinical trial. Then I think I'm good, right? I think I'm skating okay. But then in 2019, a brain disease hit me, and the migraines were so bad that the medication that they gave me, my doctors did not allow me to go back to the work that I was doing.
mm,
And that was a blow to me again, only because of the fact that that's what kept me purpose, waking up every day, going to work. Forget about lupus, forget about the ailments I got. Let's put that to the side because I got to go in there, being there for my guys, being there for work, being there to support me, my family, and didn't even think about my disease like that. But
yeah.
now it took me out of work. So I've always told myself, Tenille, I've always told, and I'm sure every lupus warrior tells this to themselves, that we are not going to let this disease beat us. I
Mm,
felt when it took my work away, I felt like I was almost beaten.
right, right. I felt that. I have felt that before. I'm sure. I'm certain that several lupus warriors, chronic illness warriors, have felt those things. And what I have found is that it is not just because one thing stops. Just how they always say, like, one door closes, another opens. It's literally just redirecting you. It's just you hit the wall, right? But you're in a maze and you're just taking a different direction now.
Yep.
So it's never this is the end unless you decide it's the end. If you lay there and be like, well, this is my life now. I live this me and my pillows, like,
Yep.
right now, then
Absolutely.
that's your
And
life.
and that's what I believe because God shut that door for me for one reason, and that was to put me on a better path. But he left it up to me to find that better path, and I did. I created my own lupus organization.
Yes. Let me tell you. This I when I got the invite to stalk your page, I did. And then I was like, oh, there's a website. And then so many people know and love him. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
we will never argue because I want the smoke. Like, there's so many people who already are like, they go hard for you and yours. So, he had a Valentine love summit the other day on Zoom. And how did
Mhm.
that go? How, like,
It was amazing. It was amazing. We had a lot of people on there. This topic was about love and lupus and relationships and how we cope with it, how we deal with it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of sad stories, but then also there's a lot of beautiful, friendships and possible relationships that were made. So we just bring the community together to let them know that main message about that lupus love is that everyone matters and everyone is worthy. Not one person is unworthy of love, but it has to start with loving yourself. And that's one of
that
the
part.
biggest, that's the biggest part that we put out there. You have
And
to
it's
love yourself first.
hmm, it's so true. It is so true. It can be very discouraging when we live in a swipe right, swipe left culture of they find the smallest thing wrong with you and they're like, well, no, I'm good. I'll go to the next one. When
Yeah.
you have something that is chronic, which
Very.
means it's not going to go away. And even if you are symptom free forever, like you don't know that. Like today, you could be symptom free and be amazing. And the
Right.
next day, you need a kidney. So, like, you genuinely get to choose to love, to live your best life and find someone who's understanding of that life that you live. And you
Oh,
did. You did. I saw on a live the other day, you had your lady there with you. How did you
yeah,
meet?
we were promoting the few things that I promote, which God, I can't remember which one that was. But it's just so much that I do that with that relationship status, it was even to a point where my first relationship, once I got diagnosed with lupus, the woman I was with just up and left me, just up and left,
Mm-hmm.
because I was this reliable guy that in her eyes, I was this strong man that took care of everything. But now I got a disease that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. She didn't even stick around to find out anything much more about it. But when a brother started thriving, yeah, guess who started knocking again at the door? But guess,
Of
and it's like,
course.
it's not like that. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So if you're not there with me at my worst, don't expect to be there with me during my best. So
Right.
unfortunately,
Were
and
you
that's what
shooting
us,
me in the gym, girl?
and that's what us chronic warriors have to worry about. Not worry, have to praise and think about that. If they don't feel that they're for us, they're nothing to us at all. We don't
Right.
need to bend backwards for somebody that won't give us a time of day because they're judging us on our inability when they should be talking about our capabilities. And
Right.
because of that, we have to learn again, when you love yourself first, no matter what they think or say would not matter.
Exactly. Exactly. And I find that people who have chronic illnesses or have like severe hardships are the sweetest, most giving people. Like when they are able, they are ready and willing, like immediately. Like just
Yes.
like some like homeless people are the most they want to share. They get their little something and they want to share. Like it's the same kind of mentality. If you understand what it feels like to not be counted, to be ignored, to be, counted out,
Oh yeah.
you want to give that love so much. Like you want to never let anybody else feel that way. And it's not something that we are, you know, have control over. It's not
Right.
something that you want to dwell on, but people are so taken aback because they've never seen it before, maybe, that they're
Yep.
like, oh, like my most recent ex is the first time that any dude has ever stayed with me through any flare up. Like literally anytime I have gotten sick and been in a relationship, they were out. So I see that all the time. Like people don't understand. Don't even get in it if you can't be in it. Like
No.
sometimes you're not strong enough, and that's fine. We need strong, understanding people who are
Yes.
gonna be able to do the give and take. And if we need them to give a little bit more, this is the season. This is the season. But also know that we are gonna give our all. That's how we roll.
And the key on that with our illnesses is education too. We have to educate those properly to let them understand what we go through. And so to me, that's a huge way of going about it. We have to educate everybody on our chronic illness. And you either take me for who I am or just don't. It's simple like that to me. Or just don't. You
That's
just don't.
it. That is it. Okay.
Their loss, not ours, right?
Exactly. So I really want to talk about love and these things. But my mind keeps screaming, talk about Kilimanjaro right now. So I need you to talk to my people about climbing Kilimanjaro. Why? How? What? Tell us.
Well, it was an organization reached out to me because that's what they do. They're called the Seven Summits of Lupus, and they do summits in order to raise awareness for lupus. But he wanted somebody to take with him to his next trip, which was in Africa. And unfortunately, because of the conditions us lupus patients are in, he didn't come across anybody that he thought would have been healthy enough to do it. Now he
Mm.
comes across me on Instagram and he's like, that's the guy. That's the guy. I want to know who this guy is. So while I'm doing this live, I'm seeing all these comments at the bottom. Hey, I need to get to know you. And I'm thinking, okay, who's this guy? Hey, we need to connect. Who's this guy? We need to da 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 da. So after the live, you know, he gives me his email. I shoot him an email. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. Da 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 da. How could I help you? How could I could do a service for you? And then he told me who he was. So I applauded him and commended him, not having lupus at all, but supported the cause. And because of that, I am down to support the cause,
Yeah.
especially when he says, here's what I got for you. I need to know if you're willing to do it. You don't have to answer now. Just give us some time. I am going to Africa to do a lupus awareness campaign to bring awareness to Africa. I need a strong lupus warrior to join me. We are going to talk to politicians, lupus support group, city officials, and then at the end of the trip, we're going to do a bonus and climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Are you aware of Mount Kilimanjaro? I said, yeah, I know. Tallest mountain in Africa, you know, like
No big
19,000
deal.
feet. And he said, yeah, just think about it. I said, I don't need to. I'm in. I'm in. And I told him
Whoa.
I'm in. So
Wow.
we did the campaign. It was beautiful. Kilimanjaro was just the bonus, but it was a beautiful to talk to lupus support groups, for them to talk to me about my journey, what was going on with lupus in the United States. Unfortunately, the hardships they have in Africa, dealing with lupus and medication access. So it was heartfelt to hear all that, but to be on the international news about that, I felt like I did my part to raise awareness, but it was more for the people. It wasn't the trip. It wasn't the hike. It was the people there. Touch me.
Cool.
And so
how was your health during that time? Like, I don't.
Oh, with lupus, it's just any given day. Now, prior to the trip, I hiked and I climbed and I've done so much to where I was doing okay. I remember I had a kidney transplant earlier. I had a clinical trial earlier. My lupus was at a very low type of, problem that I was having, very low problems, but they were still there. Now, when I went to Africa with the climate changes and everything in the third world, really didn't affect it at all until I got to the high altitude. On Kilimanjaro, we went through desert, rainforest, rain, and then at the very top was snow. So we went through all these different climates. Unfortunately, my lungs failed at 17,000 feet. Tenille, I got up to 17,000 instead of 19. And when the doctor agreed that it was like I was drowning, I was drowning inside because my lungs were filling up with water.
Oh no.
And because I had lung failure before, I have 25% of my lungs that are dead, that are not working at all. And so when my lungs started acting up, it was hard to breathe.
Yeah.
I felt like I don't know if I'm going to take my last breath.
Oh,
And
no.
when I finally got to my last checkpoint before going to the top, the doctor did not want me to continue. I couldn't do nothing but respect that. But
right.
I felt I felt, like I failed. But here's the thing.
Amazing.
Here's the thing. Nobody and I was open to tell everybody exactly what happened, that I got all the way up and unfortunately I had to come down. It was a fiasco after that. I had to go to a hospital in the jungle. It was crazy. And anyway, 2 weeks later, coming back to the States, when I thought they were treating me for lung failure, they were also treating me for my second kidney failure. So currently, and that was 2 years ago, currently I'm in my second kidney failure now. And I'm still on the hunt for a new kidney. I do home hemodialysis, which if you guys aren't familiar with that, I do it all from home. And I do it 6 nights a week. So that's what's keeping me going.
So for those who don't know what dialysis is, it's basically filtering your blood. So your kidneys filter your blood, take out impurities, and send it back out to the rest of your body. When your kidney's not working, you have to do it manually, basically. So use the dialysis machine, big needles, big things,
Yeah.
and they
Sticking
filter
me
the
my
blood. Yeah. So if you ever like see somebody who's sick and they have like a lump, it's probably for dialysis. Um, so he's doing that at home 6 days a week to stay alive. Yet he's on this podcast looking very alive, very sprite, very happy, and telling stories about his courageousness. So I had an intrusive thought when you were telling the the mountain story. I was like, you said I could be taking my last breath on this mountain. I was like, that'd be a really amazing story, though. That'd be like a cool way to go. That'd be a cool way to go. Thing. I'm very glad you didn't, but like that's pretty awesome. That's pretty badass.
You know,
So,
you know,
so
I'm proud of myself for even attempting it because when people found out that I was doing it, I had so much backlash on I shouldn't do it. You know, lupus patients shouldn't be doing things like that. But I'm sorry, in my journey, it's something that you tell me no, I'm going to do it twice,
right,
just because I don't have limits when I do. Everyone has limits. Don't get me wrong. Everyone has limits, but being chronically ill, you know, that we want to test and prove to ourselves that ain't nothing can really stop us if we put our mind and heart to it. You know
yes,
what?
yes,
If I don't finish, that's still okay. Because one thing that I say in all my speakings and everything, that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not finish first every single time. You put the effort in, you make it if you can, and whether you do or you don't, your effort is worth it. Your effort is
right,
worth it.
right. It's just a waste of breath in my lungs if I can't use it to do what I really want to do and go where I really want to go and experience life. Like, yeah, there's things that are wrong. Like, every day is not a pain-free day. Every day is not a beautiful, perfect day. But I'm
Right.
gonna make the best of each day. Like, because I know factually that some days I'm only going to be able to lay in my bed. So while I don't have to lay in my bed, I'm gonna do something.
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta pop out.
Exactly that.
That's okay.
Exactly.
Yes, I love this
Exactly.
for us. I love this for us. So, have you always been motivated and like excited about your life, even though with lupus and stuff? Did you have a depression?
You know what? Never. I may have felt depression, but never fell into depression.
Mm,
And what I mean by that, if that makes sense, what I mean by that is that there were times that because I've had multiple organ failure back to back to back, there was a time there was like just when things are going well, now you're telling me my lungs, now you're telling me I'm gonna need this replaced, now you're
mm,
telling me this, now you're telling me that. I tend to go up in these streaks where everything seems to be okay, then things kind of come right back down. Then okay, back
mm,
down. And so I remember one time this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life, unfortunately. And I felt, like a little sad that maybe I can't do the things. But then I turned that around and like, you know what? God brought me this far.
yeah.
I'm just going to keep on going. And that's when I learned the two major words that I've always used was accept and embrace. I accept
Mm,
the fact that I'm going through this. I accept the fact this is what lupus can do to the human body. Man, woman, this is just lupus. We're all different in our ways, but I know the potential of what lupus can do.
mhm,
Now, embrace it. Just, Emmett, you've been through so much. Whatever comes next, you got it. That's
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And
right.
so I didn't expect a second kidney failure. I didn't expect dialysis like this, but you know
Yeah,
what? I'm doing it. And now that
right.
I'm doing it, I'm making the best of it. I'm traveling. I'm doing things that, like you had mentioned earlier, that even normal people feel that sometimes they can't do. But that's because I'm not. It's just my spirit, my motivation, my mental health tells me I can do it, and I'm not going to miss out on having a good life, my best life, and thinking that this is going to slow me down or stop me. It's not.
Boom, boom. Let them know. Okay, I love that for us. That's fantastic. You are phenomenal, and I'm so excited to know you. Um, so we're gonna bring this in for a close, even though I could definitely be nosy and talk to you forever because what an interesting life that you have led, sir. What an interesting life. Um, and I kind of want to climb a mountain now, but that's neither here nor there. So where can people find you? What kind of events do you have coming up? Oh, and I really do want to talk about, how can people see if they are a match for your kidney? How do you become a kidney donor? Or like, where
Okay, so here's one of the myths that people think that has to happen is that you have to be, excuse me, that you have to be a blood match. You do not have to be a blood match to help somebody with an organ, at least for a kidney that I know of. There is what is called a donor exchange program. So say Tenille, you are 100% healthy. You don't have lupus, you don't have any illness, but you want to donate to me. But they do start with the blood match. If you're not a blood match, that's okay. They go to step 2. What step 2 is that in the database, there's over hundreds of thousands of people that need a kidney. They find who you are a match to. And if you are willing to donate to that person, then what they do for me is they bump me right to the top of the list, and I get the very next kidney. And from what I've heard from people, that is about a week's time. So
wow.
If you donate on my behalf, you're saving someone else's life. And because you did that, my life is going to be saved within a week because the next kidney will be mine. So people understand this. You do not have to be a match to save somebody you know that needs a kidney, a family member, doesn't matter. If you have the heart, you're willing to give, you can live on one kidney. My brother donated me a kidney. Me and him are tight to this day. He is healthy. And that was in 2013. And he's doing well. So if you're not, looking to giving, you're looking to save a life, looking to do a good deed, donate your kidney. Somebody out there needs it. If it's not me, somebody out there can use it and need it.
Right.
If you want to know more, know more about it, you guys visit my website. I have information about the kidney donor exchange program. I also have where you can help me by donating a kidney, and the information is all on my website.
So thank you so much for enlightening us, because honestly, I didn't know that. And I know multiple people in kidney failure or people who've gotten kidney transplants, and I still didn't know that. So that is huge to be aware of. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So, and I will have his website everywhere. It's already on Facebook. It's already on
Instagram as well.
Yeah. It's in his links on Instagram. He's tagged. It's not on my Instagram, but it's all everywhere else on my socials, so you can find it. So before we close out, is there one thing that you would like to leave the audience with, even though that was my dropping again? One thing you'd like to leave the audience with and where they can find you?
One thing I'd like to leave with the audience is that don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a person, again, by their inabilities of doing things, because you don't know their story. You don't. If we look healthy, we look good. We're going through these things that inside, that we're battling something that nobody knows about but us. So sometimes just reaching out to a person that you normally don't reach out to, or you feel is going through something, just to say hi, can change their whole mood, can change their day, can add, a little brightness and a smile to their face. Us with chronic illnesses, we don't talk about it a lot unless we're advocating, but there's so many out there that keeps it to themselves that sometimes they just need an ear to listen to, as opposed to any replies. And be there for that person. Be there for that person. I am available to talk with lupus patients, with people without lupus, to understanding how they cope with people with lupus or with lupus themselves. I've done it for so long, but just remember, where I'm at now, I've learned from the things that I've done in the past that I'm preaching to not do. And that was, I held it to myself for a while, but we're also talking about the 90s too, and the 2000s. So the era was different. Nowadays, there's so much support out there. I run a support group twice a month in 2 different organizations. You want to know more about me, find me on my social media handles and my website. My email is my name at maillupuswarriors@gmail.com. Yes. Give me a shout out. Let's talk.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. Let me read a couple comments before you go.
Yeah.
Let me hit Instagram. Wow, we have a lot of comments. Okay. Um, you, oh, that was great afternoon, exciting. Adam was fantastic. They're besties. Welcome, brother Emmitt. A lot of welcomes. Absolutely, there's always more to do. Value, a lot of value. Oh, somebody was upset about draw blood this time. Yeah, girl, draw blood this time. You'll go complaining forever and they won't say anything. Yes, self-advocacy is key. We know our bodies. That's right, chronic illness warrior. So factual about you wonderful men. They try to make it like it was in your mind, not in your body, and that's a shame. Yep. How's that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Men are notorious for ducking doctors. I mean, that comes from a man, so he knows. Great job, Emmitt. Men are the strong ones. We aren't allowed to say we are weak. That was from Adam.
Thank you.
Social structures allow one behavior from. I'm reading Instagram because it'll go away. Facebook will stay, but Instagram we won't be able to see anymore. Social structures allow one behavior from some and not others. A real man is vulnerable. A real man loves himself enough to get checked out and go to the doctor. You and family.
That part.
It's in all
that
caps.
Part.
They were yelling at us. Just look at how we talk to little boys when they fall versus little girls. These subtle behaviors from boys into men that don't value pain as a marker other than weakness. That was from Adam. It's correct. Super correct. Congratulations on your new path.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot. They'll be gone, but I'm just letting you know they are pouring out the love.
And I appreciate it all.
And what are you doing is walking in your purpose, and it is a blessing. Thank you so much for leading from the front. Yes. So many things, so many comments. I can't read them all, but just know that you are loved and people are resonating with everything you said. And wow, I'm very close to the camera. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you.
Yeah. And somebody, I pinned some. Somebody said, "So proud of you, my brother." I don't know if that's actually your sister, but
thank you, Niobe. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we are going to end this live, and I appreciate everybody for coming and staying and commenting and liking and sharing and all of the things. You guys, you're incredible, and I'm so blessed to have you as my what's it called? Audience. And Emmitt is going to be available whenever you need him. I'm going to put all his socials everywhere. If you just go to his Instagram, he's got a link tree of all the things. He has a support group coming up this week, I think, right?
Well, I do an all men support group with another lupus brother of mine, and we have that coming this Thursday. And then the last Saturday of the month, I have a co-ed support group, which technically is more of a warrior meetup. You know, I don't really like to use the word support group. We offer the support, but it's a warrior meetup is what the way I like to put it.
Yeah, we come in to hang out and be cool. Don't be weird.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you so much for coming out. We love you. Be healthy, be happy, be healed. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tenille.